Want to speak real Chinese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ChineseClass101.com.
Welcome to Fun and Easy Chinese by ChineseClass101.com. Hi, 大家好，我是李音如. Hi everyone, Inru Li here. Learning Chinese characters, Hanzi, is not an easy task. But there is a shortcut. To study Hanzi twice as fast, study their radicals and components. There are quite a few Hanzi in Chinese that are made up of copies of the same component. These Hanzi in Chinese are called 叠字, which literally means stacked character. 叠字. Well, in this lesson, you are going to learn some of the most commonly used 叠字 in everyday Chinese. Now, our first group of 叠字 is made up of this component. This component by itself is a character that's pronounced as 人. 人. 人 means person. Person. 人. For example, 好人. 好 means good. 人 is person, so 好人 is a good person. Now, in this character, we have two 人 side by side. So, two persons side by side becomes 从. 从. You see, a person following another person is 从. So, 从 means to follow. To follow. But there's another common meaning of 从, which is from. For example, in this phrase, this is a very common phrase, 从什么什么到什么什么 means from to. You can say 从什么时候到什么时候. You can use it on time. 从什么时候到什么时候. You can also use it on locations, such as 从什么地方到什么地方. 从到. This is a very basic, important phrase. Please remember this one. Now, what happens when we have 三个人, three persons stacked together? This 叠字 of 人, this one, is pronounced as 众. 众. 众 means crowd. Or lots of people, which is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? 众, three 人 means a lot of people. Now, we have this compound word, 观众, which literally means watching crowds. 观众. This is often translated as viewer or audience. 观众. Now, if you like this way of learning Chinese characters, great, because I have more to show you. Now, do you know this character? Have you seen this before? This, by itself, is pronounced as 口. 口. 口 means mouth or opening. For example, when we combine 口 with 人, which is what we just learned, 人口 together makes a word, which means population. 人口. Now be careful not to confuse 人口 with 入口. You see, 人 and 入 are pretty similar, but the difference is that in 人口, the left stroke is longer, but in 入口, the right stroke is longer. 入 means to enter, so 入口, you will often see it on signs, which means entrance. 入口. Now let's stack two mouths, two 口, 两个口在一起 变成了什么呢？ What does 2 口 turn into? But before we do that, I'd like to mention that when we stack or put components together to build new characters, the shapes of the components often change a little bit, so the new character, the structure of the new character will be more balanced. For example, in 吕, these 2 口s, there are 2 口s in here, but you will see that the bottom one becomes wider and flatter. So, what does this one mean? This one, first of all, is pronounced as 吕. Well, 吕 is often used as a surname, 姓, or last name, family name. Alright, now we have 3个口 in the next character. 下一个汉字，这个汉字有3个口. This one is pronounced as 品. 品. Well, 品, if you think of the 口 in this character as a box, now we have 3 boxes stacked up together. It becomes 品, which means product or commodity. Product, as in the word 物品. 物品 means goods or item. Now, 品 can be also used as a verb, which means to savor. You're using 3 mouths to taste something, means you are taking your time to appreciate the taste and the flavor of something. So, 品 can also mean to savor. As in this compound word, 品尝. 品尝 is also to savor. Now you know this is 口. Now if I add 1 line in the middle of this character, it becomes a new character, which is 日. 日. Sorry, I made it look like a first tone, but it's a 4th tone. 日 means sun or day. Sun or day, but not Sunday. 日, such as 日出. 日 sun, 出 out. Sun out. 日出 is often translated as sunrise. Well, just as we stack up 2 口, the same structure, with 2 日 is 昌. Chang. Chang means prosperous. Prosperous. Because it's a good meaning, it's often used in names, such as names for a person, a store, or a city. As in this city, Nanchang is in the south part of China. Nan, south. Nanchang. All right. Now, moving on to the 3 sons. 3个日 becomes 经. Jing. Jing can be used as an adjective, meaning bright and shiny, since we have 3个日, 3 suns shining on us. Of course, it's bright and shiny. While 晶 can also be a noun, which means crystal. And this is a more everyday word for crystal, 水晶. 水晶. Now we've come to the 4th set of 叠字 with this component. This one by itself is pronounced as 木. 木 means tree or wood. Doesn't this kind of look like a tree, this character? 木, as in the word 木马. Do you know what is a 木马? 木 is wood and 马 is horse. So wood horse is a toy horse that's made of wood that rocks back and forth for kids to ride on. 木马. Now, next Hanzi has two moves side by side, but notice the stroke becomes a little shorter because when we combine components to make new words, some of the shapes will be changed a little bit, just as in 连, two moves side by side. It's pronounced as 连. So two trees becomes woods. Woods. So it's more than one tree. Woods. Now if we have 三个木, three moves, is it still a small woodland? No, it becomes a forest. And this character is pronounced as 森. 森. Sen means forest. And to say forest in everyday Chinese, we often use this word, 森林. 森林. Now here's a question. Can you count how many moves are in this compound word? 一个, 两个, 三个, 四个, 五个. There are 五个木 in 森林. As a matter of fact, there are many Hanzi Chinese characters are used daily and have one repeated component. Now let's have a look of more examples. The first one is 月. 月 by itself means moon. Now we have two 月 in this Hanzi. So 两个月亮, two moons side by side, becomes friend. So 朋 means friend. 朋. And a very common everyday word for friend is 朋友. 朋友. Alright, moving on to this one. This is pronounced as 又. 又 means again. And when we have two 又 side by side, again and again, it's pronounced as 双. 双 means pair, as in 一双手, a pair of hands. Now, this is 火. 火 means fire. 火. When we have two fire on top of each other, it is 炎. 炎 could mean extremely hot or inflammation. For example, this phrase 发炎 is a verb phrase that means to become inflamed or to get inflamed. 发炎. In the earliest form of Chinese script, this character, this symbol, it was used to mean meat. But nowadays, it becomes the meaning changed to dusk, which is the time period before it gets dark for the night. So when we have two pieces of meat together, you know, in primitive society, having two pieces of meat was considered a lot. So 多 means a lot. Now, here is an interesting compound word that's made with 多. 多少. We know 少 is the very opposite of 多. So 多少 literally means a lot, a few, or much, little. But when they're used together as a compound word, they're often used to ask the question, how many or how much? 多少, is it a lot or is it a little? 多少. Now the last one, 石 by itself means rock. 石. Now in this Hanzi we have three rocks. So it actually means a lot of rocks. 垒. Lei. You'll often find this character Lei in male names in the hope that this boy will grow up to be strong and tough like rocks. I hope this lesson gives a new perspective on Chinese characters. Now let's recap what we've learned in this lesson with a quiz. Alright, do you remember this character? When it's used by itself, it means person, and it is pronounced as 人. 人. Okay, when 人 is used as a component, as in this character with 3 人, it means 众, means crowd. 众. Alright, good job. Now, between this character and a very similar one, this character, which one means to savor? This one with 三个口, 3 mouths, is to taste, to savor. 品. Now, do you remember we mentioned a compound word in this lesson that's made up of 5 of the same component? That word is 森林, which means forest. 森林有5个木, has 5 wood in this character, in this compound word. All right, last question. Well, if you see this character in a drugstore on a package of some medicine, can you guess what this medicine could be used for, to treat? Inflammation. And this character is pronounced as 炎. 炎. Well done. Want to learn Chinese fast? Get cheat sheets for all kinds of topics. Travel, hobbies, love, and much more. And you'll learn all of the must-know words and phrases for each. Click the link in the lesson description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get them. Well, thank you for learning Chinese characters with me on ChineseClass101.com. I'll see you next time. 再见.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.